welcome to Spoiler Piece Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. I am co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast.
And my name is Dave Riedel. My pronouns are he, him. I am a movie yapper, and I am also a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
We are here, as always, to talk about movies, and we're going to talk about a movie for our episode. But before I get to that, I'll mention that this week over on our Patreon, we're talking about the 1981 horror film The Burning, which was a really fun conversation. We got into some fun tangents involving music and other things while we were talking about the movie. So if you're a patron, check that out. If you're not a patron, please consider joining. For $5 a month, you get weekly bonus episodes like that one. You get a back catalog with hundreds of bonus episodes as well. And you get to vote in our monthly polls. We'll have one coming in a couple of weeks. And while I'm at it, I'd like to say thank you to our sponsor piece patron, Heather Sachs. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
We appreciate your support. All right, now on to this week's episode. We're going to be talking about a comedy by the name of Gail Daughtry in a Celebrity Sex Pass. And yes, that is the real full title of the movie. It might make more sense when you know that the movie is written and directed by David Wain and co-written by Ken Marino. If you know those guys,
it makes a lot more
American
sense.
Summer at all.
Yeah. And the state, don't forget the state. So.
Right. So if you know their kind of absurdist brand of comedy, then you know that that's a very logical title, despite being quite long.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the film stars Zoey Deutch. It also has Ken Marino in it, Michael Cassidy, Miles Gutierrez Riley, Joe Latrulio, Thomas Lennon. You got Richard Kind showing up in there. You got John Slattery playing himself, Jon Hamm playing himself. You've got Michael Ian Black, Weird Al in a cameo, Penn Jillette in a cameo, and
in
Fred
a non-speaking
plays
cameo.
Yeah,
Penn Jillette.
Yeah, exactly. And Fred Melamed plays our narrator / mailman, Frank the Mailman. Anyway, we'll read the IMDb summary and then we can dig into this more. When her fiancé uses their, quote, celebrity pass agreement, Midwest bride Gail Daughtry travels to Hollywood seeking revenge by pursuing her own celebrity encounter. Yeah. So her and her fiancé, the opening credits establish they're like high school sweethearts. They know each other forever. They live in Kansas, small town Kansas. Everything's hunky-dory. And they go to a book signing hosted by Jennifer Aniston, where she's reading a cookbook at a book signing, which actually made me LOL. Her just sitting there reading recipes as if she's like reading from a novel.
Mm-hmm.
And the fiance ends up having sex with Jennifer Aniston because like on the way out, he's like, oh, I like Jennifer Aniston. I think I'm a fan. And then because they were talking about the celebrity sex pass thing earlier at the salon where Gail works, then it ends up coming up and he's like, oh, maybe she's like, maybe you would change your answer. Tilda Swinton was the original answer.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. And he's like, maybe you'd change your answer to Jennifer Aniston. He's like, yeah, sure I would. And then like he goes back and he's like, oh, I'm going to get I've lost my coat or my keys or something. He goes in and then like a really long time goes by and she's like, what the fuck? She goes in there and finds them doing it. And yes, it's actually Jennifer Aniston, which I thought was really fucking funny. She's like, yeah, he told me this was okay, and I'm getting the sense that you're not really into this. So sorry about that.
Indeed.
Yeah. Did not know Jennifer Aniston. That was probably what the most pleasant surprise of the movie is that she was in this, even in her kind of like one scene. Because I'm like, okay, good. You got a healthy sense of humor about yourself, and you can be game and have fun in the stupid like little scene. So yeah, she's obviously quite hurt, and she has her friend Otto, who's also a stylist in the salon, is like, oh, I'm going to this hair conference in LA. You should come with me. It's hosted by Remy Fontaine, this like goofy, what is it, like the master, they call it the master of the whip curl or inventor of the whip curl. And of course that's Thomas Lennon wearing like a crazy long wig and sunglasses and walking around with like curling irons in his hands. So yeah, they go to LA, and she's like, okay, while I'm here, I need to have sex with my celebrity person, who is Jon Hamm. And so they go on this like wacky adventure where she's like trying to track down Jon Hamm so she can sleep with him, so she can get even with her fiance, and then go back and marry him. But spoiler, she does not marry him. Jon Hamm shows up in a hot air balloon and is like, come away with me. And she's at her wedding, and she's like, okay.
Yep.
And that's the end of the movie. Oh, actually, no, the real end of the movie is Fred Melamed, who is the narrator, mailman, just griping about his own life. And this part I found truly funny. He's complaining about the guy who did his roof or his siding. I can't remember.
His roof.
He's complaining about getting ripped off by the guy who did his roof. And then like the movie ends and we've got the end credits. And then it cuts to Toby Huss, who's playing the guy who did the roofing, going on a rant about this whole situation, defending himself. And that's the end of the movie.
Right. Well, and then Gail, because she's in the hot air balloon, leaves a message saying, hey, I need you to take a look at my roof. I just saw that it's not looking great. It's Gail Daughtry. And then she goes really quick, and the celebrity sex bass.
So yeah, there were some parts of this movie that made me laugh out loud, and there was a lot of parts that did not. And this movie was very, very uneven, but I'm looking forward to hearing more of what you thought about this one, Dave.
Well, I love The State. Always did. I think that most of them post The State have I'm going to use one of my favorite phrases about uneven work, highly variable body of work.
Yes. Spotty.
I mean, for example, not Michael Ian Black, sorry. Tom Lennon and Ben Garant have written very successful movies, including the Night at the Museum movies. Like they wrote all of those. Michael Ian Black has, become a stand-up comedian. Michael Showalter has directed a ton of movies. David Wain directs a movie roughly every 5 years. I mean, Wanderlust, I guess, would be the Jennifer Aniston connection. Paul Rudd shows up in a cameo in this at the end.
Yeah. Breaking the fourth wall.
8 of the 11 members of The State are in this. I did not recognize Kevin Allison because I'm, as he would have called himself on the show, the redhead gay. He's gone gray, so I didn't even know it was him at first. But then when he talks about getting your dick sucked behind, whatever next to the dumpster, I'm like, oh, that's Kevin Allison.
The Foot Locker dumpster.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about The State is that it's intentionally stupid. I mean, they really do a lot of what you would call anti-humor. Just making jokes about things that are not funny. And the fact that they're making the joke is the thing that's funny. But also carrying on the unfunny joke, knowing it's unfunny is something they do too, which when Kevin Allison tells them, if you want to get great coffee, you go here. And then he circles Starbucks on the map. You want to get a great burger, you go here. He circles McDonald's. I mean, that's objectively stupid, but then 5 minutes later, it shows Gail and her buddy, like loving their coffee at Starbucks and having a burger and then going to the 7-Eleven. Like, can we see your wall of gum? And it's stupid. It's so stupid. I love it. Like Ken Marino playing the photographer who's A, an idiot, B, carries around that roll of 35 millimeter film in his coat, even though he now shoots on digital. Yeah. And then when he throws it up in the air and it cuts away and then another character is speaking and then like 30 seconds later it cuts back to him and he catches the film in his hand. It's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah. Ken Marino plays a guy who's now a paparazzo, and his white whale is Jon Hamm, and he was like a great, photographer for celebrities, and he had the anecdote or the story that he tells that he's like, what was it, Mr. Gets whatever shot, or something like that.
Yeah, gets whatever shot it is, even though it's hard to get. That was his nickname.
He's just telling this long story, and he's like, long story short, and they're like, actually, that's kind of a long story. Like, stuff like that made me laugh. There were plenty of times where I was laughing because this movie was actually funny, and there were so many times where I'm just like, oh my god, this movie feels so long.
Well, and then one of the things that made me sick. It's the joke about "I will make you sick." The Jon Hamm's personal assistant.
Yeah.
His threat to everybody is "I will make you sick," which at first I was like, that's not very funny. And by the time he did it like the 15th time, I was like, okay, now I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And then the gag about, I really thought that John Slattery was going to just get the shit kicked out of him when he finally, part of the gag in the movie is that he's basically spending all of his free time, and free time is all he has because nobody ever hires him for anything, which if you know his career, that's not true, but it's a joke. Mm-hmm. He's been practicing, kung fu, martial arts, whatever, in his shitty garage for years. And then they want him to beat up a bunch of these bad guys. And he's like, oh, I can't. I get sick whenever I'm around real violence. And he throws up once earlier then. But then at the end of the movie, he kicks the shit out of everyone. But then he throws up afterwards. And I'm like, I like it. I like that they brought it back around to the vomit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There are some plot parts that I left out. So it's like she has a briefcase and Henry Winkler's at the airport and the mobster guys end up swapping briefcases because they're taking a photo with Henry Winkler. And then like the mob guys are chasing her throughout LA trying to get this back. And like the woman who's in charge is like killing off the various henchmen and other people and then unleashes the army that Dave was just talking about that John Slattery has to fight. And then they shoot a bunch of them dead. There's a lot of this, like, that's when the movie turns to like absurdist violence. And I was just kind of like, that part was really not working for me. Like,
I didn't love that, but
yeah, I just feel like if you're going to do absurdist violence, it's generally like something you carry through the movie. You don't just like wander into it late in the movie.
Yeah, although I have to say that I did like it when Gail Daughtry beat the mafioso woman to death. That made me laugh because it was, a low angle shot, the blood covering the camera. And I was like, oh, they've gone for the weird, it's not giallo, but almost like a thriller in the woods kind of backwoods killer kind of thing,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mr. always gets his shot even when it's hard to get. I just had to look back at my notes.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me like overall you were kind of like,
Yeah, I would say largely. I was like, but there were some parts that were legit LOL. Like,
yeah,
Jennifer Aniston was very funny. I laughed really hard when Otto comes out of the bathroom and he doesn't see that the guy's like met Henry Winkler and she's like, I had my first celebrity sighting. And he's like, oh, who is it? Give me a hint. And she says, Jewish. And he goes, Henry Winkler. She's like, right.
Yeah, that was funny.
That part was really fucking funny. So, yeah, I mean, I like that Richard Kind was their cab driver and he's obsessed with Elizabeth Perkins. And then later, Elizabeth Perkins shows up as their
second cab driver.
Their second cab driver.
Yeah.
Like, there's funny shit in here. There's some really fucking funny parts. And like you said, Dave, there's a lot of stuff that they lay the groundwork for and they loop back around to. I just had such a hard time getting through all the parts that were not funny.
I think that I overall liked it more than you did. For one reason, I think I saw it with an audience. And by and large, the audience was all about it. So the guy next to me, I thought was going to die or tear his stitches and then need new stitches. He didn't really have stitches. He was in stitches is what I'm trying to say. The guy in front of me, I thought was going to lose his mind. I don't really remember seeing any of the other critics there. That loud asshole who's always giving you his opinion that you don't want was there, but I can't remember anyone else. I don't know his name and don't say it because this is a friendly podcast.
Right. No, I'm not going to.
But it's funny, the publicist, the Allied publicist was there and she asked me afterwards, she's like, oh, Dave, what'd you think? And I was like, oh, it's stupid. I loved it. And she's like, me too.
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, and we should also mention the whole thing is kind of like the structure of it is kind of The Wizard of Oz with big deviations, but Gail's from Kansas. She's wearing red shoes. It ends with a hot air balloon. There's all she's meeting all of these different dudes and collecting, nobody is an equivalent to like the lion or the scarecrow or whatever, but she's got the three dudes with her. I also thought that the kid who played the agent had some good moments, or the kid who gets fired from the agency, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought he was funny. And I mean, she does actually get a chance to fuck Jon Hamm.
And she does.
And she does. And I mean, they frame a lot of the sex scenes too. It's like she is the one fucking Jon Hamm and not the other way around, which is pretty hilarious.
It's definitely her. She's in control.
Yeah.
And I also think that Zoey Deutch, who I've not really seen all that much, the things I remember her most in, she's in Everybody Wants Some, and which I think is the first thing I saw her in. And we were talking about this off mic, and I'm like, wow, this woman looks just like Leah Thompson. It's her daughter. And then the second, I was going to say Zoolander movie, but that's not right. The second zombie movie with Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg, Zombieland. She's in the second Zombieland, and she's very funny in that. So even though that movie is kind of a piece of shit. So I really liked watching her. I don't know if I've ever seen her as the lead in something. And I think she's terrific in this, for what it's worth. I guess that's a long way of saying, if you're going to hang your hat on a performer, a good choice. She's got that like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed exuberance, and she can play it in a way that doesn't seem like she's sending it up. It seems like that's what Gail's like. And then, but she can also kind of like deviate into the weird violence and then the other stuff, because that's what David Wain and Ken Marino do. So it all kind of ties together. It's good casting. Long way of saying good casting. David Wain, who is also in the movie.
Yes, he is a cameo as the editor at People magazine that Ken Marino was reporting to.
I like it when he tells his assistant, write down blah, blah, blah in my phone. I got to call him and have lunch. He's like, who? And then he says, just write son of a bitch. I'll know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like kind of one-off lines that are funny or just silly situations, like when Thomas Lennon shows up with the curling irons and burns the shit out of Joe Latrulio's face, and he's got like the curling iron scars. It's funny. There's funny shit in this movie.
Well, and there's like we always talk about Chekhov's whatever, Chekhov's gun, Chekhov's whatever. I did not think that it was going to be Chekhov's metal plate in my head when Otto just randomly mentioned that. And it's such a throwaway line that it didn't even register with me. So when he's about to get shot in the head, I had forgotten that he had a metal plate in his head. So when the bullet bounces off him and then kills Joe Latrulio's partner, I was like, oh my God, Chekhov's metal plate in the head. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think that was for me when we started veering into the absurdist violence, where I was like, that wasn't working for me. The part where John Slattery's foot is getting slammed in the door repeatedly until blood starts flying out of it.
That one did not work for me.
When he rips the henchman's eyeball out, John Slattery rips that guy's eyeball out.
That one did not work for me. Yeah.
When she tells a story about her parents' this isn't absurdist violence, but she tells a story about their parents' double suicide, and I'm just like, why is this
in her bed?
Why is this a plot point in the movie? Like, it's truly not funny.
That's just what they do, though. And you're either on board with it or you're not. I think that I thought the parents' double suicide thing in my bed was just dark. I was like, this is ooh. What kind of daughter was Gail?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, as you can tell, I really enjoyed myself. So
that's good.
I said to myself, no, I never do that. You remember how you always had that one teacher who would do that?
Yep.
And I said to myself, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Every year there was a teacher who did that, and you're like, it was not funny when Mr. fucking Boner did it, and it's not funny when Miss, I can't think of something that's the equivalent.
I'm just
of
trying.
Boner.
What would be the counterpart to Mr. Boner?
Yeah. I mean, I can think of a few, but none that I really want to say out loud. So even in my head, I'm kind of like, So anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's much more to say about it. It's, if you've ever watched, I mean, David Wain, this is more akin to, like, you had referenced Wet Hot American Summer at the beginning, and this is much more akin to that than it is, say, Role Models or Wanderlust, which are more straightforward. They're more like normal comedies, I think you would call them, even though in Wanderlust, Ken Marino does appear, and he plays a character who, as he says, is just a dick to be a dick. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm just a dick to be a dick. So, which is, I can just, even me doing a bad Ken Marino impersonation, you can probably tell that is something he would say. So,
by the way, Ken Marino, one of the few celebrities who has interacted with this podcast on Twitter.
That's true. That's true.
We did. We tweeted at him once asking him about something, whether it was his idea or David Wain's idea. There was like some type of fart thing that he did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and he responded back. He said, "Sorry to break your farts, boys."
Yeah,
that was David Wain's idea or something.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got my, my favorite character from the state, of course, is Louis, who wants to dip his balls in it. Of course, I think my single favorite sketch is Monkeys Do It, if you know that one.
I don't.
I'm laughing just thinking about it. And of course, the one where they're all at dinner and Carrie Kenny says, "Oh, what is this blue, I don't know, meat?" And I think it's Michael Showalter says, "Oh, it's Muppet." And it turns out that they've learned how to capture Muppets and cook them for dinner. And one of the things she says is, "Well, how do you catch a Muppet?" And he's like, "Oh, well, let me show you." He opens up his window and he says, "Hey, I sure could use some help counting to 4. And then a Muppet pokes his head and says, "Well, let's start with the legs on your table." Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff I like. But that the state does anyway.
I always liked Ken Marino on Veronica Mars as the
Vinnie Van Lowe.
Yeah, the other investigator she was always kind of squaring off against.
Yep. What's really funny about that is I don't ever think of Ken Marino as like a serious actor, although he can do it, because, for example, the scene of Veronica Mars. Do you remember I can't remember which season it's in. She's going to go into that bar where that family of Irish fucking gangsters hangs out. And he is like, he stops her. He's like, "Veronica, you cannot go in there. Those are very serious, like, actual criminals." And he does it in a way that's like, oh, Ken Marino's, he's not winking at when he does this. He's being serious about her safety.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I loved him in his couple of scenes when he was in Happy Endings, when he played Dave's therapist, Rick Rickman.
Yep.
I mean, Rick Rickman is just so great. Anyway, yeah. So as you can tell, if you're not into anti-humor, then this is not the movie for you. If you're not into absurdism, probably not the movie for you. Random extreme violence, although it's actually not that extreme.
No, it just felt tonally jarring for the rest of the movie.
It is a little out of place, I feel like. And I actually don't, this will surprise you probably, given how much I like movies with killing. But I do not love violence for the sake of humor, unless it's like Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, So, and Daffy Duck.
I mean, I don't mind it in absurd, like, movies like Shoot 'Em Up and other things of the ilk, where it's like, okay, we're just established from the get-go it's absurdist violence, and it's just going to be, this is just the tone that we're setting for the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention that Carrie Kenny plays a psychic who's right about everything.
That's right. Literally right. No explanation about it. She's just literally right about everything.
She's literally right about everything, and very specific too. So, which I just thought that was a good gag, Yeah. And I also love that Gail and Otto don't say like, "Oh, how do you know that?" They just go with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh, what?
You know it. They're like, oh my God, you know everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, do we have anything else to say about Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass?
Oh, I mean, we were talking off mic about, movie titles, and as silly as this title is, it's way better than if the title was just Celebrity Sex Pass or
Yeah.
other kind of 2 or 1 word comedy titles that we've seen over the years for kind of like, I don't know.
And I feel like a lot of them star Jason Bateman and or Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. Or Ryan Reynolds. I feel
Or-
like was in a lot of those for a while.
Yeah. Well, we said the one with the 2 of them was The Change Up. Then, of course, there's Horrible Bosses, Bad Teacher. I've already forgotten some of the other ones. Sex Tape with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel. And it's just like, I feel like that went on for nearly a decade. And it's like, this is the best we got?
Right.
Like, I don't like movies where character names are in the movie title because it's like, who the fuck is this person? Like Michael Clayton. Okay, it's George Clooney. You can call your movie Michael Clayton, but like
Larry Crown, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, like that's just so like, fuck you, Tom Hanks and your Larry Crown. Who gives a fuck? Oh, I'm going to college now. Finally, fuck you. Yeah. So Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. It's got 2 things that are not great, but put them together and it's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you would call this though. Like, what are you going to call this? It's like
right.
The Wizard of Oz, except about fucking. I mean, I don't think you can call it that.
I want to fuck Jon Hamm. Like,
that was the working title, and the studio was like, "You can't do that."
How to bang Jon Hamm in one weekend.
My fiance fucked Jennifer Aniston, so I'm going to fuck Jon Hamm. Yeah, that could be the name.
Yep.
Well, I wish you liked it more.
Yeah. Well, at least I didn't hate it. Like,
that's true. God, I'm trying to think. Like, when was the last time that one of us really liked something and one of us hated it? I feel like that's
probably been a minute.
It's been a while.
We've had something like that.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad this isn't one of those times, because if you had really if this were a bad movie, objectively, I don't know if this is a movie you can be too objective about, because like I said, it's a very specific type of humor that you're either into or you're not into.
Yeah.
And you are into some of it and not into other bits of it, whereas I am largely more into it. And I forgot where I was going with this, so that's okay.
Well,
I literally forgot where I was going with that.
Well, it sounds like for you it boils down to a see it.
It does, yes. I have always, ever since Ken Marino is my favorite member of the state, and he still is, and as much as I liked Michael and Michael have issues, they ain't Ken Marino.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised I didn't see Michael Showalter in this one.
I was
unsurprised to see Michael Ian Black when he popped up.
I was surprised to see him. I was not surprised to not see Todd Hollebeck, because I don't think he works in show business anymore. Michael Patrick Jan just directed a movie like a year ago, or 2 years ago, a horror movie. I think he directed Drop Dead Gorgeous too, if I recall correctly. And then Ben Garant is not in it. So he and Tom Lennon, I feel like, still do a lot of stuff together, but not this time. So who can say?
Yeah. I think for me, it's more of your mileage may vary. I mean, for me, my own mileage varied on the movie itself.
It certainly did, to hear you tell it. Yeah.
But yeah, there's worse ways to spend your time for sure. And there's definitely laughs to be had here.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. But
all right. Well, yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps things up for us here on Spoiler Piece. So let's see. Where do we start? I want to say thank you to our editor, Otto Clamor. Otto, thank you for making it sound so great week after week.
Thank you, Otto.
You can find the show anywhere you get podcasts, but you can also go to our website, spoilerpiece.com. You can find a link to our merch. We're on a store on TeePublic, and you can get all our stuff there. Lots of fun ways to support the show, t-shirts, mugs, etc., etc. You can get in touch with us. You can send us an email, spoilerpiece@gmail.com. Tell me I'm fucking wrong as hell about Gail Daughtry and the Celebrity Sex Pass. Or tell us your thoughts about The Burning, perhaps, in our Patreon segment. We like to hear from listeners, so definitely feel free to reach out. You can also find us on social media. We've got a Facebook page. We're Spoiler Piece Theater, and we're on I think Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads. You'll find us, Spoiler Piece Theater. There's no one else with that name out there.
Yeah.
And if you like the show, please rate and review us by going to ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece. It'll take you to your platform of choice, and we appreciate those ratings and reviews. They help give us more cred in the podcast world. And if you really, really like the show, please consider joining our Patreon. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we are talking about the 1981 horror film The Burning in this bonus episode. And for $5 a month, you get access to our weekly bonus episodes. You get to vote in monthly polls, and you get a back catalog with hundreds of bonus episodes in it. So, yes, I think that's all the things I was supposed to say. Outro complete. My name is Evan Crean. I am co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s movie guide, Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon, and that's real as in film reel.
And my name is Dave Riedel. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, and I'm on Twitter, Instagram. Twitter, X can suck a dick. DM Riedel on Instagram, Dave Sees Movies on Instagram and some other places, and David Riedel on Blue. What the fuck ever. I'm the David Riedel who's not the painter or the fucking doctor guy. That's me, if you're finding me online.
Yes, that's you.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, listeners.
Bye.